Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, the 28th of April. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. And actually, right, first of all, I did win that money yesterday. It was just on NHL. I did okay at NBA, but most of those screenshots were early on. I took first and second, and then stat corrected into first and fifth. So glad I hung on the first, but geez, that was annoying. But yeah, I've been playing the $1, just mostly trying to snipe satellites. So that's what was going on there. But as always, recently we're sponsored by Prediction Strike. So download the app, use code PhD for their best bonus. Yesterday, I decided, hey, let's follow what the guys have said. Let's get a couple of UFC fighters who I think have a possibility of winning. And Mahashate did, and Liang Na did not. Now, I think if she ever does win, it'll be in the first round. So I'm waiting to see if they drop her or not. Sound off in the comments if you think I should keep Liang Na or if I should just sell her at whatever loss because she lost. Who knows? It was fun enough. I was happy the one guy won. So we've got a little bit of stuff going on today's slate, right? I mean, you probably are aware that Giannis and Dame are both doubtful, and I assume will be out. They didn't look good with Dame the way he was playing. I don't think he should have probably come back at all. I added a max 2 out of 4 Milwaukee Scrubs rule. We don't have much to go off of. There's obviously they've missed one game all season, and now they're missing a playoff game, which is a different circumstance than the one they missed in the season. You can't go off the season one. I went off of they are off-court partials, so that's where I got my sample size from. I'm assuming Kawhi is out as well, so that's why you will see my play of the slate is not everybody else's play of the slate at this point, but I'm going to be 65% Terrence Mann as well. I mean, maybe that's a bit much. I'll take 10x leverage on the field at 30%. Sounds good. But I mean, Terrence Mann's a great play if we get Kawhi ruled out after lock. Now, granted, after lock, it's not that people won't have that much exposure to those games anyway because of the Milwaukee situation. And what is the Milwaukee situation? Well, have a lot of bucks in your lineup. That's the situation. This Milwaukee value doesn't make any sense. You should have more of these guys. If Pat Connaughton is 0.04%, Jay Crowder is 0.02%, and Andre Jackson Jr. is 0.7%, you guys aren't doing your jobs right. They should be 5 to 15% each. I mean, Brolo 5. Anyway, AJ Green's going to get there in either case. So just sort the guys by number of points. Khris Middleton, Portis, Lopez, PatBev, and Beasley. These are guys who will play only while it's close. Now, granted, they're down 2-1 in a series. They got to play as much as possible to try to win. But these other guys, Jay Crowder, Andre Jackson Jr., AJ Green, Pat Connaughton, have a role trying to win when you're down. Like, put these guys in the corner, have them shoot threes, see if it works out. Sometimes it does. So you need that 10 to 15% chance that it works out. But AJ Green's already been in the rotation. I think he probably gets 24 to 28 minutes today. And if he pushes for 28 minutes, he's going to be one of the optimal values of the slate. So again, it's AJ Green. Do I really feel 65% confident? Nah, I'll take 50% just because it's AJ Green. And then whatever chance you think the game doesn't blow out, that's the percentage of Khris Middleton and Bobby Portis you need today. Brolo as well is going undervalued compared to the partials this season without those guys. He had produced at a pretty high level. So if people are going to forget about Brolo, I'm not going to forget about Brolo, but also there's a chance that they get there without Portis, so I'm going to slide that 5% as well. Because Portis could get in foul trouble. We've seen it happen. Not hit his threes, whatever. Okay. That seems reasonable. You take Beasley. He gets a boost in usage, but he still has to hit his shots, right? So, I mean, probably gets there in, what are we giving him, 28 minutes? He could get a few more minutes as well, probably. 25%, 30%, hit 30%, because he goes from being a shooter to being kind of a solid play with all the guys being out for them. And yeah, they just don't have many other options. I don't think they're going to play Ty Washington. I don't even know if these guys are on the rosters. So, all right, let's keep going. Let's see where the field is today. Right, Andrew Nembhard. He got there last slate. He could get there again. He has the minutes. He's just a low usage player in an offense. You know, it's the same thing with Terrence Mann. It's just that Terrence Mann is 2% or 3% or whatever. And so I'm going to do that other one as long as that seems like what's his name doesn't look right. I think Kawhi didn't look right. I don't think he'll be playing full minutes today, even if he is cleared to play or whatever. I'm not going to read it. If you saw him in that last game, you know something's wrong. They shouldn't have let him play in that game. Some doctor should be fired. Okay. So these are the highest owned plays. Negative leverage on Derek Jones Jr. Yeah. Anytime you guys all want Derek Jones Jr., have him. I mean, like we got other choices today. This is the we got a lot of value all of a sudden on the playoffs. Don't play Derek Jones Jr. I mean, he's the value for when we don't have value. Yeah. So I'm happy with these fades. I mean, I'm not really happy with a Tyrese Halliburton fade of that level or a Embiid fade of this level. That doesn't make sense to me. Those guys are both pretty solid guys. I need to have at least half of the field on Embiid and Halliburton, the way they've been playing and the way I expect them to play in important games. As a matter of fact, this is just a disrespectful projection for Halliburton. He doesn't need to be lumped in with these other guys. He's better. I mean, like if we're making Chris Middleton this kind of guy, he's at least a Chris Middleton without Giannis kind of guy. Yeah, he's the team's number one. So let's make him and Chris Middleton kind of the same play today. Chris Middleton is just an incredible play without Giannis. And I mean, like, yeah, he still has to hit shots, but they're gonna just ask him to take all the shots, and he's still priced like the guys are there. So I mean, what would he be? Like a 9, 9, 5, 10K player without if this team revolved around him. So he's just massively underpriced. You got to have some. Let's look at the rules. I talked about it. 4 game slate. You don't need to leave that much money on the table in Classic. You can allow up to $1,000 in your swaps, I think, just to make sure you get to wild enough lineups. I say 2 out of 4 Bucks scrubs popping off. Bucks scrubs defined as Crowder, Green, Jackson Jr., Connaughton. So max 2 out of 4. I think of those guys get extended and smash. Conley or Naw, it's not really this. I clicked it, but it's not really important or germane. Mitch Rob, and Hartenstein. Yes, these are other plays that I will have a fair amount of, I guess. Maybe not. Oh, I limited it to 20% because only 2% of you are on Hartenstein. But if he doesn't get in foul trouble, he's a smash play. And at 2%, you got to have a piece. I'm massively overweight to him at 2%. I'm 20%, but I mean, still. And if he does get in foul trouble, I don't understand. One out of Mitchell Robinson or Hartenstein should be popular. I don't understand both of them not being popular. So I'm going to be over the field on both of them and have a fork where I don't have both of them in any lineups. Again, the OG versus Bojan or the what's it called? McBride and DiVincenzo forks are active, but I didn't boost them because I don't think those guys are like that great of plays. Phoenix. Now we got a situation where these guys are being underprojected. So, and I used max 2 out of 3. So Booker and Booker and Durant have a higher median than Beal. And then also Nurkic is not being projected high enough. And my concern with Eubanks is the weird thing they did with Okogie that I think was just garbage time, but I don't know what that was. So I was building it into a fork with like Nurk foul trouble and Okogie, and I have the max 2 out of 3 min bigs, so you get to some Nas as well. But yeah, I couldn't do Eubanks at 10% because I'm not sure he's going to get all those minutes in the backup role after last game. So yeah, what are we doing for the slate? Let me just tell you, and then we'll go to the showdown. We're doing AJ Green. We're doing Tyrese Halliburton. Not that much. Come on, guys. I mean, I built in a little, but I mean, I don't want to overreact to last game. I'll be a little over the field. So 2 guys that I think are being just like, I don't know what people are doing with them are Paul George and Cat. So I'm going to be massively overweight to Cat. I'm going to be massively overweight to Paul George. These guys have just been in foul trouble all the time. If they just don't get in foul trouble one game, both of them will smash. So Paul George, okay, I guess I'm not getting to him anymore at the current whatever. Okay. That's just based on his projection. I guess we have other options at forward or whatever. But Cat, let's take him to 30%. Just because it is kind of flat, even in my expectations. Like, I want to take a big stand on him, but 10x is a big stand. I don't need it to be like 13.333x or whatever that was. Just make sure you got lineups everywhere you want lineups. Neesmith, this is value that's like fine. Yeah, matching the field, fine. Neesmith and Nembhard are just guys who every night are going to get a bunch of minutes at a relatively low price and could drag you there if the whole team gets there. And I mean, the Bucks, fine. Maybe they get there today. Yeah, okay, this all looks good. Let's go on to the showdown. See what's going on. Oh yeah, did I say cores? Yeah. I guess our only core is like Bucks guys, right? So AJ and Khris Middleton and then Bobby Portis. And then after that, we're like Beverly and Siakam and I guess Nembhard just to cover the field for a more, but I mean, there's better options. You saw all the different forks and stuff. I like all the ways to get different at least as much as the chalk on the slate. All right, so now showdown. What were my rules? First of all, to tell you these guys, I limited it to a GOME known of 21 because I don't want that many dupes, but I don't really care. It's 100K. A few dupes would be $20,000 or something. That's fine. I got a Nurk foul trouble / small ball, but now that I've gone and looked at the actual situation, I don't really want my Eubanks. It definitely can't be 55%. I'll take 10% Captain Eubanks, but then I'm not going to allow him as flex because I don't think if he's not smashing and getting there, he's not going to get there at all because they're going to go to some weird other option. Also, weird other options you should put in play, like for some points. Okogie got some minutes. Okogie could definitely get minutes as likely as Bull. So if he's going to be unowned, definitely throw some Okogie in the mix at like, I don't know, 2 or 3. About the same as Bull. Either one of them could be in the rotation. Bull was in the rotation as a 0. As my 0 player last game, that was good. Okogie is priced, so he'll probably still be 0% owned. Just because we have guys who are min-priced who will be in the rotation. But yeah, so then we got max 2 out of 3 of the big 3 for Phoenix. You can see I boosted all these guys to their values from the other thing. So Durant and Booker the most, Cat, Gobert next after Ant-Man. And I guess, let me take Ant-Man up to the same level as the other guys if he goes off. Because I don't want to short him. The rest of this all looks fine. So yeah, who are we getting to for captains? Let's have a look in this new situation. A lot of Cat. Yep, everybody's disrespecting Cat. They're giving him way too low of projections. I'm on it all day long. I'll take 50%. Just because I think the odds he gets in foul trouble are really 50-50, even though he's had 2 bad games in a row or whatever it is. And so I don't think he's going to keep getting in foul trouble. Surely he has to learn a lesson, right? Somebody talk to this man. Do it just to spite him, Carl, or something. I mean, I guess that's 35% with my actual confidence. And then Royce, yeah, it's a decent chance they give Royce a crazy amount of minutes, 10% chance. And a 15% chance they extend Nurkic. Yep, I love all those guys for captain. And then, yeah, equally much. Yep, okay, these are all good. Nas Reed. Yep, I love all these guys. Guys who there are cases where they get massively extended. Those are the guys where you want to mince your captain. So this makes sense as a bunch of them. Cat, Nurk, Nas, Eubanks even. Eubanks is a guy I just told you. I unclicked him. I don't want him in flex. I want him captain or nothing at this price. So I'll be way over the field on Captain Eubanks and then no other Eubanks. I assume we're just guys with points. Yep. Guys with points are who you have in the flex. Gobert, Beal, Booker, Durant, Towns. Choose 3 out of 5, right? I mean, so there's a lot of different cases there. You cover them all. Down at the bottom, I mean, I'm probably not taking McLaughlin. He hasn't been getting in the game. Man, if he did, he wouldn't score many points. So I'm not going to put McLaughlin in there, and I will put whoever that other guy was that was in the rotation, Okogie. So I'll rerun this later, and those will be my punt guys. I think Okogie will get some ownership, like, I don't know, 5% ownership as well, because he did play in the last game a significant amount the whole fourth quarter. While the starters were playing, but after it was a blowout, I don't know what that was. So if you know what that was, sound off in the comments. But for now, also remember, check out Prediction Strike. Use promo code PhD for their best offer. And remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. And 2 different ways to win 100K today. No excuse not to.